everyone, and welcome to a quick demo of Supernewsroom. Whether you're a startup, SME, or even a large organization, publicity is key, which means you need to reach out to the right media. But how do you do so? And that's often that problem. How do you find an updated media database? And once you find it, how do you know that that journalist is the right one for you? That's where Supernewsroom comes in. We have a database of approximately 25,000 journalists across ASEAN. And the USP of Supernewsroom is that it has a unique journalist matching algorithm. So what it does is that it uses the latest articles and the tags of a journalist to match them to that startup or SME. So which means that once you find that right journalist for you, sending a media invitation, sending a press release is no longer an issue because you're sending it to the right person. So let's hop in and look at what Supernewsroom has inside. The first thing is that a user will need to log in, and once they log in, this is what they would see. This is the dashboard. So on the right hand side, you can see here the latest media updates which are done in real time. On top here, you can see the most recent campaign analytics, and you can see the media quick links. So at the bottom here, you can also see the feed from Newsstream Asia. So Newsstream Asia is our partner news platform. Whenever a press release is sent out from Supernewsroom, it is then published here, which means our users get guaranteed coverage. On the left here, you can see search media. My favorite, iReport, iContact, settings, top tips, and quick starts. So let's go to search media. Now, search media has two ways of looking at or finding that right journalist. One here is, I would say, the long cut, which means that you can see from countries. These are all the countries that we have inside Supernewsroom. Okay, so I'll pick Malaysia. You can see the categories. So we have newspaper, TV programs, international media, bloggers, magazines, TV stations, online news portals, and top social media influencers. So let's say there is a startup that wants to announce that they have recently raised funds. So one way is to find the media that is the most relevant to them offhand. Maybe they want to reach out to the star. So they can just type star. And what you can see is an extensive editorial list. So this is how we collate and curate our data inside Supernewsroom. So you can see the management list, scroll down to news desk. It goes all the way to features, business, and so on and so forth. So here you can see the name of the journalist, their designation, two latest articles, a summary of what they recently wrote about, email address. Here is a box where if you click on it, you can select whether you want to send an email or if you want to add them into your favorite list. On the left hand side, you can see the latest updated contact details of that media outlet. Second thing a user can do is to click on the name, and it will take you here, which is the profile page of that journalist. You can see all their latest articles. You can see their tweets, their social media handles, contact details, and of course, what do they write about, their tags, or what we say, what are they influential about. So if you find that journalist, the sender finds this journalist relevant to them, they can then select here to send an email. So just type media invitation. It is a standard email editor, or they can select from any of the previously sent emails, because all the emails sent from here is archived. So it will load the most recent press release or media invitation. Images can be added here. You see the images here. So what is interesting is that when a sender logs in, they log in with their email address. When a journalist replies, it goes back into the inbox of that sender. So nothing is stored inside Supernewsroom. It's very much email to email communication. So you can send three types of emails from Supernewsroom: a press release, an RSVP, or pitch. You can of course attach any documents. You can save this you can save this email for the session. So for example, so this will determine what kind of buttons, response buttons, that the journalists will see when they receive this email. So if it's press release, they would see publish, not publish. If it's RSVP, they would see covering, not covering. If it's pitch, if you're going to pitch for an interview, then they would see accepted or decline. So if they click RSVP, that means if you want a journalist to attend an event, this pops out. So once you fill in these details, and if a journalist accepts the invitation, this then integrates or syncs with their Google Calendar. So let's just say a press release is selected. Then you can send this email. So discard this. And this is how a journalist would view an email from Supernewsroom. So the first thing is, it will see the name of the sender, the subject of the email. So there's nothing different from any standard email editor. The only thing is, they would see the buttons are here. Covering, not covering, request for media kit. So once they click this, the sender is immediately notified. So this allows a lot of seamless connection, seamless communication between the sender and the journalist. The sender will also receive emails such as this, for example, not attending by request for media kit, and an email open alert. So this makes the job of both the sender and the journalist much more easier, because it is all now via just a single click. So let's go back to the dashboard again. And if they find this journalist relevant to them, they can of course click here to add into favorites. So Supernewsroom has 15 folders where a sender can pull out all the relevant journalists into that folders. So this is a sample of a favorite folder. So I've created for a startup called Sling app, and you can see all the journalists have been pulled into here that are relevant. And again, with just a single click, I can select and send to all these journalists. Now, another interesting part is that this journalist, even though you can see all their emails here, but they would receive individual emails. That means they will not see each other's name. It's even better than a BCC. So let's go back to search media once again, and I will share with you now how the unique matching algorithm works. So as I was saying earlier, finding that right journalist is very important. It also ensures a very high pickup rate, which means that if you're reaching out to the right journalist, you can get good coverage. So first thing, you might want to add the name of your organization. So let's just say Petronas, and you want to add oil and gas. Here's a tag. So what it will do is that you'll find the journalist who has written about Petronas and has the relevant tags. So it will match to that journalist. And this is very, very useful, especially when you are looking for journalists who write about topics such as cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. How do you find them? You can't just send to the business desk. So this matching algorithm is very useful. And this is where we hope to integrate with some deep machine learning in the near future, and it will be more predictive and powerful to match to the right journalist. So if you can see, it has a best match of this journalist who has written about Petronas, email address, tags. And of course, the same thing applies. Just select. Either you can select and directly send emails from here, or you can then add them into your favorite folder. So the next part is, of course, to track. So since I've shared earlier that Supernewsroom is very email to email, when you have a large team, of course, you want to look at each campaign, and all of your campaigns are reported inside the iReport. So every campaign is here, and the analytics are here as well. So you can see your media outreach, the open rate, the publish rate, and the media coverage. So this will allow users to see who the list of the media who has received it or not received it, to do your follow-ups, and you can see your coverage report here. So what Super Newsroom aims to do is that it is a complete suite of a PR service. It gives you an updated media database. It then matches you to the right journalists. It allows you to send your emails and receive responses. And finally, it gives you analytics and a report to show your media engagement for a specific campaign. So with that short and quick demo, I hope now you would see how useful Super Newsroom is for anyone out there who wants publicity. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me at manminder@supernewsroom.com. Thank you.